Excuse me, sir. Sir, question for you, real quick. How old were you when you became a millionaire?
In my 20s.
In your 20s? And how did you get rich?
I'm an inventor.
You're an inventor?
Yeah.
What did you invent?
Have you ever seen one of these?
The Whoop? You created Whoop?
Yeah.
When did you build the company?
I started in 2012, so I've been building the business for the last 12 years.
How old are you today?
35.
Over these 12 years, what was the most amount of money you made in a single year?
Well, the company was last valued at 3.6 billion, so at this point we've had some pretty big years.
So you own $1 billion company.
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey.
I go all over the world interviewing billionaires to help the younger generation. Can I get a minute with you for our channel real quick?
Let's do it.
Did you go to college?
Yeah, I went to Harvard.
You went to Harvard. So you knew when you were at Harvard that you were not going to go work for anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you could argue working for yourself is more work than working for someone else, but
was entrepreneurship innate in you?
I think at the end of the day, I was driven by the problem I was trying to solve. It wasn't like I said I wanted to start a company. What company should I start? It was like, I want to start this company. I want to understand health. I want to be able to build wearable devices that millions of people understand and use to improve their health. Like, that was always the vision.
I'm going to challenge you right here. Give me a lesson about business that is not taught in business school at Harvard.
I'll say this. A lot is said of CEOs needing to have vision and empathy and strategy and business acumen. The single trait that I've found is the hardest trait in all of building business is courage. Your courage is going to be tested before anything else when you're in a real problem. Can you say the hard thing? Can you do the hard thing? Can you walk into the problem and own it?
Nobody talks about courage.
And they don't teach you that in business school, and you can't read it in a book. And so that's, I think, the single hardest thing to being a CEO is when shit really goes wrong, you're going to need to have courage. That's something you have to develop over time.
When was your courage tested?
Oh, look, I mean, there were various points in the company's history where we almost ran out of money, where we almost missed payroll, where the product was failing.
Did you almost go broke?
Yeah, of course. The company almost failed. I was a broke entrepreneur, 6 or 7 years into building it.
So 7 years in, you could have gave everything up, but you didn't. Why not? What kept you going?
Well, this is a crazy story. I remember in 2015, I was sitting on my couch, my parents' home. Whoop was kind of still struggling to go along, and I'm watching NBA basketball, and what comes on the screen but a Kia commercial, and in the Kia commercial, LeBron James is wearing a Whoop. And what was amazing about that is at the time, there was only 100 Whoop straps in the entire world.
Your watch?
Yeah, and one of them was on arguably the greatest athlete in the world at the time. And so when you're a fledgling entrepreneur and you're broke and you're trying to figure out how to make it, having these little moments of inspiration where you're like, wow, maybe this does have a chance. If he's wearing it, maybe a lot of other people will. Like, it gives you a second wind.
Do you think everybody's built for entrepreneurship?
No. I mean, entrepreneurship is a lesson in pain and suffering for a greater cause. And that's just something that some people want to wake up every day and do. And it's something that, isn't for everyone.
Yeah, I remember Elon Musk said one time that entrepreneurship is like eating glass and staring into the abyss.
And look, he's done it for, 30 years and built iconic businesses.
How do you feel about competition? Were you ever afraid to go into a competitive market?
No, I mean, in some ways we don't pay much attention to competition, and in other ways we just want to kill competition. Yeah. So that's the balance you always want to have.
So talking about killing the competition, the one thing that you're doing differently from everybody else.
Well, we've built a product that's fully integrated, that has a brand associated with it, that really has the best data associated with it. And that sort of collection of unique elements has made it a product that people love and wear. And we've seen companies like Amazon, for example, like knocked us off and like tried to create an exact copycat product. And they had all the distribution, but the product failed because it was missing some of that magic.
Amazon tried to copy you?
Yeah, totally tried to copy us. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But you don't care that they're a titan in their space and that they're, the size of the company that they are today. You don't care about that.
Well, we certainly took it seriously when they came out with a product, but we also said we're going to win. In fact, we wrote on every circuit board, don't bother copying us, we will win.
My last question for you, in 30 seconds, give us the blueprint to building a $1 billion company.
Honestly, I think you got to find something you love and be obsessed with it and chase it and chase it and chase it. No one is entitled to be a great entrepreneur. No one's entitled to build a great business. And so you put that entitlement aside and you go do the hard work that other people aren't doing, and you look at a problem a little bit differently, and then it's persistence, persistence, persistence. You find a great team, you raise capital, and then boom, you'll do something special.
And just like that, we're going to build a $1 billion business.
Exactly. That's all it takes.
You got amazing advice, my friend. Thank you so much for your time.
This was a pleasure. Thank you, man.
You guys, he built a multi-billion-dollar company. He said his company was valued at over $3.5 billion, and he's the founder of Whoop, one of the fastest growing, one of the biggest healthcare technology companies in the entire world. And that entire interview was a straight masterclass that It's safe to say I don't think that advice is given in any Harvard Business School class whatsoever, but only here at the School of Hard Knocks. But we got to keep this one rolling and go get another interview out here, you guys. Come on. All right, you guys, I have a very special surprise for you all. I'm at MIT right now, one of the most prestigious schools in the entire world, and I'm about to interview Jaylen Brown, the NBA and Boston Celtics legend. You want to know something crazy about him? He's the 6th highest paid player in the entire NBA. He's one of the richest athletes in the world. He made over $49 million this last year. So I'm going to be linking up with him at MIT to figure out what he did to become one of the highest paid players in the NBA, what led to his success, and what he's doing to preserve that kind of money. So this one's about to be crazy, but let's go link up with Jaylen right now and go see what he has to say. How you doing, man? Great to meet you.
You too.
Great to meet you, Jaylen. How old were you when you became a millionaire?
How old was I?
Yeah.
18.
18?
Yes, sir.
And how did you get rich?
I dropped out of college and pursued my dream.
What's your dream?
I became an NBA player.
An NBA player?
Yes.
For what team?
For the Boston Celtics.
Are you Jaylen Brown?
I am.
You became one of the greatest athletes alive. What was the biggest driving factor of your success that enabled you to work your way up and become a professional basketball player at the highest of the industry?
Adversity and failure. Yeah, I think people think there's a negative perception to adversity and failure. I actually seek it. The more I fail, those have been the blessings in my life. The more I've had adversity, it unlocks work ethic, it unlocks discipline, and it unlocks creativity. So fail more.
What was the most amount of money that you made in a single year?
I guess last season.
How much?
I made $50 million last year.
$50 million?
Yeah.
Do you keep a lot of money in the bank?
No, and the richest people never do.
Why not?
Because they understand that money is just paper. And I think that what people value the most is subjective, but a lot of the richest people, social capital is what they're after.
Are you a good negotiator?
I'm a great negotiator.
So you're not afraid to walk away from a deal if it doesn't align with you?
I will run away from it. I'm okay. I'm not very materialistic. I'm grateful.
You're also not desperate.
I'm not, you know what I mean? I have more than enough than I've ever had. So I'm extremely grateful. I do a lot of philanthropy work.
You don't come from money?
No, single parent household, apartment, bunk bed with my brother. We had necessities, but at times we went without things, water, light, etc. So it's amazing to be able to provide for my mom, my family, my intermediate family in a sense too. So I'm very blessed.
Now, the most successful people in the world, they inevitably deal with a lot of hate. How do you feel about haters?
About haters, it's a part of it, you know. When you have haters, that means you're doing something right. I mean, I think that just comes with it. I don't let it discourage me. I don't let it stop me. They don't build statues for haters. They build statues for people that do things. You know what I mean?
How old are you now?
I'm 28.
If me and you died tomorrow and you had one more guiding principle to leave with the younger generation, what would that be?
The moon steals light from the sun, but people never get the two confused.
What does that mean?
Because we were just talking about haters and imitators. People will imitate you, take your style, imitate your brand, or take your lingo, everything that you do. But the moon may steal light from the sun, but the sun is still the sun. It still shines every day. We won't get the two confused.
Did you ever doubt yourself?
I have, many a times. I've dealt with anxiety, even depression. I've been to some very dark places, to be honest, mentally. But I feel like those dark places have allowed my light to shine.
How did you overcome that? Talk to somebody at rock bottom right now.
I would say it's okay. It's all right. I know what you're feeling and experiencing. I know that feeling of what you're going through, the doubt, the fear, the lack of trust that you may have in yourself. But just remind yourself that you can do great things, that you can, and you will. Everybody's going to deal with adversity at some point in their life. Every living being, every living organism, even plants struggle to get sunlight.
Do you believe in God?
I do. And anytime I've ever been alone, I've just always filled that space with the Most High. And He's always guided me. Faith, consistency, and hard work pays off.
You got amazing advice, my friend. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Thank you.
I appreciate that, man. That was awesome.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, question for you. How old were you when you became a millionaire?
I know who you are.
Yeah. How old were you when you became a millionaire?
30.
30 years old?
Yeah.
And what line of business are you in? How did you get rich?
Finance, and now I'm a CEO of a company.
What were you doing in finance?
I worked at a hedge fund for 21 years, one of the senior partners there. Had, great success that allowed me to be a philanthropist and trying to do some good in the world.
So you ran a hedge fund?
I was one of the managing partners, yeah.
How much money were you guys managing?
Almost 40 billion.
40. You guys were managing $40 billion?
Yeah.
Did you come from a lot of money?
No, I grew up poor. I was in the projects, Inglewood, California, lived in a trailer in rural North Carolina, and then got a series of people to invest in me and give me the opportunity to prove myself. I worked my ass off and then got just a series of breaks that I took advantage of.
What's a lesson that you learned on the street that translated into the business world?
Learn how to dribble with your left. Don't rely on what comes natural, what comes easy. Constantly look for those other things to supplement the things that you already have.
Where do the richest people in the world put their money?
I think the smartest people know what they know and know what they don't know. Put it in an index fund.
Give me some game right here.
Vanguard. Put your money in an index fund. Cheap way, reliable way.
What specific index fund?
S&P 500. Don't be overly complicated. Too often we invest in this small idea and that small idea. Compound wealth over time.
What was the most amount of money that you made in a single year?
More importantly than how much I made in a single year is how much I gave away to help others. Judge me by that. A lot of people think about, cars and rings. When you're lying on your deathbed, the last thing thing that you're thinking about is the next thing that you bought or the next thing that you want to buy. I think it's the amount of people that you help, the amount of people in your life that you love, more important than anything else.
How much did you give away in a year?
I've given away more than most. No, I just think that judging yourself on that basis rather than how many chips you stack is, for me, a much more thoughtful way to live life.
Do you think money buys happiness?
It does not. Money just makes you more of what you already are.
Do you believe in God?
Oh, I believe in God. I mean, God has ordered my steps, guided my path. The only way that I went from where I was to where I am is by the grace of God.
Faith has been important for you.
Faith has been key for me, yes. I know you're a man of faith.
I am. It's the only thing that matters at the end of the day.
It really is.
Because the money's temporary. It's a dying dead road.
There are plenty of rich people with no days left, and what good is that?
And what's the best financial decision you made throughout your career?
Marrying an extraordinary person. Because, when you're partnered with someone who's extraordinary, who loves you, they have your back, you're going to grow everything together. Everything that you do is going to be touched and blessed by God. Everything that you work on, you're going to be working on not just by yourself, but with someone else who's equally motivated for you to be successful. That's the single best decision that you can make, is marrying someone great.
How long have you been married?
27 years.
How long have you been faithful?
27 years.
27 years.
That was a really easy question and a really easy answer.
You never doubted it one bit? You never questioned it?
No, because when you make a decision like that that's blessed by God, you don't destroy it.
Your best dating advice to a young entrepreneur, somebody that's focused on wanting to make it in today's world. How did you know you found your wife? What's the single most important characteristic that you look for in a life partner?
Focus on the character. So many people pick a spouse based on the exterior only. Focus on what's inside. Focus on the character.
How old are you now?
I'm 51.
What's your name?
Damon.
If me and you died tomorrow and you had one more guiding principle to the younger generation, what would that be?
Self-interest is essential, but selfishness is not. People need help right now, so do something to help somebody today.
You got amazing advice, sir.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate you. You guys, we just interviewed somebody that worked at and ran one of the biggest hedge funds in the entire country and just gave us a beautiful interview. He said the best financial decision was what? Once again, it points back to the woman that you decide to marry. It's either going to be your greatest asset or your greatest liability. Another great interview out here in Boston. We got to keep this one rolling and go see who else we can find out here, you guys. Come on. Guys, I got another special surprise for you all right now. I'm about to go interview a billionaire who built his wealth from selling beer. He's the creator of Samuel Adams and the Boston Beer Company. He's the beer mogul. I've never interviewed a billionaire that got rich this way. This is going to be unlike any interview I've ever done, but let's go meet up with him right now and go see what he has to say. Awesome.
Here is James.
James. Nice to meet you, sir.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you for having us out. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for coming here.
Yeah, this is super
It's kind of
cool.
out of the way place
Yeah.
in Boston. We're like at the end of civilization, so I'm
Hey.
glad you found us.
Well, you made it worth it for us to be out here, so we
Cool.
appreciate
And
that.
of course, we do have a bar.
Cool.
So.
Yeah. After the interview, if you don't mind, I'll have to have one drink up here.
All right.
How did you get rich?
I created your favorite beer.
What beer?
Samuel Adams.
You created Samuel Adams?
Yes, I did. 40 years ago in my kitchen.
What was the most amount of money you made in a single year?
That was like $2 billion.
What did you learn about branding? Because obviously the Samuel Adams, it's iconic. It's in all the airports. It's in all the concerts. What have you learned about branding that enables you to get into all the distribution that's possible?
I learned branding's not that important. When I was trying to figure out a name for it, I had lists of names. I boiled it down to like 2 names, and they were about equally popular with people that I would ask about them. And I look back on it, and I called it Sam Adams. I could have called it New World Boston Lager. I think it would have been just as successful, because at the end of the day, marketing is very overrated.
Really?
What really works is a better product. I mean, ask yourself, how much stuff do you buy because of fancy marketing versus products that are actually superior? That's what people want. And we had a better glass of beer.
So you think people, they put too much emphasis on marketing when they should be focused on building a winning product?
And working your ass off to sell it. That was what worked for Sam Adams. 6 weeks after we hit the market, we got picked as the best beer in America. The company was 2 people. Here we are making the best beer in America. We didn't hire our first marketing person for 10 years. But by the time we hired one marketing person, we had 80 salespeople. Selling is underrated. Marketing is overrated.
Now take me back to the most life-changing conversation that you ever had.
It actually came from my uncle, and he was a really very smart guy, worked really hard, worked his way up at Goldman Sachs without an MBA or anything. He was in sales, and I remember he called me, and he was one of my original investors, and he asked me, well, what did you do today, Jim? And I said, well, I went and shop for computers. I went up to New Hampshire where there's no sales tax because I needed to save that money. And I looked at a computer, hadn't bought anything yet, and then he cut me off. He says, "Oh, computers. You know, Jim, I've seen a lot of businesses that went broke, and they all had computers, but they went broke because they didn't have any sales. Go out and start selling your beer. Do you have any customers yet?" And I said, "Well, not yet." I was trying to get everything set up, and frankly, I was just scared shitless to go out and cold call on bars because I never sold anything in my life. He said, "Go out and get one customer every day, and don't come home till you got that customer."
So you can't be afraid to go sell your product.
No, you're the best salesperson there is if you genuinely believe in your product. That authenticity is very powerful. Being a slick salesman is way overrated. Being genuine, sincere, authentic, that's a big deal. People don't see that so often.
They say that sales cures everything.
That's exactly right. No business went broke because they had too many sales.
How did you get the money to start and grow this business?
I stripped everything down. What do I really need? Not what I want, not what I'd like to have. What is the absolute minimum I need to start this business? And how do I start a business on a shoestring? So, for example, I found a way that I didn't have to build a brewery. I found an existing brewery where I could contract my production. I realized I don't need an office because I can use bars to do business. I can have business meetings there. So I didn't have an office for a year. I did everything from pay phone booths. I could tell you where all the good payphone booths were in Boston, and I focused on absolute minimum of things. I needed to buy great ingredients, so I brought in hops from Bavaria. I needed the best brewmaster in the world to help me, so I went out and hired him. He was the guy who invented light beer, and I couldn't really afford what he cost, but I gave him 2% of the company, which turned out pretty well for him. So I just skinnied everything down. What's the absolute minimum I need? And threw off what I don't need.
Did you invested all your money back into the business?
For the first 15 years.
At what point did you diversify?
Well, we went public in 1995.
You guys are public.
Yeah. And this is another good piece of advice. If you get to the point where you can go public, keep the voting shares. So we went public, but I have all the voting shares.
You don't want anybody else to control your baby.
Exactly.
And do you think that's the risk with taking on too much investors, is that, and you giving away control and say away to other people?
Yeah, I basically sacrificed some of the economics for control because I don't want to work my ass off every day for somebody else.
You started this thing, you're going to make the decisions.
Yeah, I'm a really, really terrible employee.
I love that. And you learned that early on, I'm assuming?
In my entire life, I've never had a boss.
How old are you now?
76.
What's your name?
Jim Cook.
Jim, if me and you died tomorrow and you could leave one more guiding principle with the younger generation to build the business of their dreams, what would that be?
If your ambition is to become a billionaire, good fucking luck. But if your ambition is something different, like I want to make great beer, I want to create a beer revolution in the United States, which is why I named my beer after the great revolutionary Sam Adams. If you have those kind of meaningful ambitions, you'll do well. And in some ways, getting rich is life's biggest booby prize. People who aren't happy want to get rich. What would you rather be, rich or happy?
Happy.
There you go.
You got amazing advice, sir. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate that.
My pleasure.
Guys, we just interviewed the billionaire founder of Samuel Adams. He became a billionaire from selling beer. But I need you guys to like and subscribe for amazing content I've got coming every week, because I'm literally traveling the world, going to find and interview the richest people in every city around the world. And guys, I'm gonna take things a step further. See, I give you direct access to the people I interview, the multi-millionaires and billionaires I interview every single week inside of my private entrepreneur community that I built to become the #1 online community for business owners in the world, where you can join, get direct access to the people that I'm interviewing on live calls every week, and ask your specific questions to the people that I'm interviewing. What do you think would happen to you in your life, the trajectory of your business, if you had the ability to get mentored every single week by the millionaires and billionaires that I interview? Well, I'm giving you direct access right now. All you have to do is go down and click the link in the description of this video to join the #1 community for business owners in the entire world. I can't wait to see you on the inside. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video.